Okay, how many of you have grandparents that were served in Vietnam? Just one? Wow, that's surprising. How about parents that served in the military with Afghanistan or Iraq or something like that? Okay, well, we are grandparents, and most of us are in the age of 70 to 80 years old. And so it was a long time ago that we were in Vietnam. In our youth, we were all in our 20s. Vietnam was very prominent in the news, and many of us joined the military or were drafted to go to Vietnam. About 2 million soldiers served in the 10 years of Vietnam, and we had an obligation to go to Vietnam for 365 days, and unless you're in the Navy, maybe you had to stay longer. I'm not sure, whatever the ship's deployment was. But for the soldiers on the ground, we were there 365 days, and then you might be in battle, you might be wherever you were, your commanding officer may tell you, Nunes, the chopper's coming in, get on it, and get out of here. And that was the goal of all of us, is to what we call Diros, the end of our tour. So we're going to individually talk to you a little bit about what each of us did. And Dave's going to start us off.
Dave Nila from Los Angeles, California, that good-looking guy up there, 19 years old, okay. Real quick about getting into the military. 5:30 in the morning, I'm in boot camp, standing outside the chow hall, waiting for a nice home-cooked meal. That's after we've run 5 miles, 2 miles to the beach, 1 mile up, 2 miles back. Not wearing Adidas running shoes, okay, wearing combat boots. Welcome to the Army. 2 months later, I'm in Georgia doing my military police training. I finished that after 2 months. It's 18 degrees. They send you home for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, at the end of the 2 weeks, ship you off to Vietnam. So I leave Georgia at 18 degrees, arrive in Vietnam at 105. Big wake-up call. You get there, you're in a group of 100, 300, 500 GIs waiting to get your orders where you're going to go. I signed up for 3 years for the military police because I knew when I got out, I'd have 10 points on my interview to get on LAPD. That worked out. Okay, we're there. They call out my serial number, RA 188869156, 25th Infantry, Cu Chi, South Vietnam. I can't raise my hand up and say, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for infantry. I signed up for military police. Too late. You signed up for the Army. You go where they tell you to go and do what they tell you to do, which is what my father told me before I went to Vietnam. Okay. Vietnam, north, south, I'm outside Saigon down here, military police, base camp. The reason I show you this picture, this little size of a Volkswagen, not smaller, called a Lamboretta, like a little taxi, okay? This Vietnamese was run over by a 5-ton military vehicle, Army vehicle. Incidents like this created bad feelings towards the American GI, okay? There are a lot of bad feelings.
Those are civilians, right?
Yes, yes. Real quick on this one, that boy right here, probably about 8 years old, okay? This is an everyday scene for him, a dead body, every day. Not covered with a sheet like you would see out here from an accident. Dead body, missing limbs, okay? That's nothing to them back there. It's a war zone. And it existed before we even got there. Okay, guys from Augusta, Georgia, 2 months earlier were strangers, all from different states. Okay, our last night before going to Vietnam, I'm down here. My buddy already fallen off. 2 seconds later, they all came down. But strangers 2 months earlier, buddies 2 months later. This picture here, what do you see real quick? Okay, what hits you on this picture right here? No response, right? Okay, I'll tell you what hits you. A brown Mexican and a light-skinned Irishman.
Oh.
Okay, I show you that. That's our sitting on our beds in Vietnam. Jack McGrath from Chicago. Skin color means nothing in a war zone. Skin color should mean nothing back here. Okay, the only thing it means is 2 different cultures. Okay, that's it. You can learn from one another, and we did. Jack was in my wedding when I came back. I called him in Chicago. He came out, he was in my wedding. Good buddy. 6 months, first 6 months, I'm in prisoner of war compound. Second 6 months, I'm leading supply convoys around the countryside. Our tower was about down to here. We didn't have manicured landscape, okay? That's a photo op right there. But sandbags to be about up to here. I'm there 6 at night to 6 in the morning. Rounds start coming in. You jump off the tower, get behind the sandbags. That is a scary feeling because you can do nothing. There's nothing you can do. If you're in the boonies and it's one-on-one, okay, you don't have time to get scared, you just do it. And that's told me by my cousin who was there in the boonies. But yeah, that's a helpless feeling, not good. Okay, I don't want to go over my 5 minutes. When I came back real quick, I'm assigned San Francisco. Am I close? Let me know.
Yep, no, go.
Okay, I'm assigned San Francisco. I made a sergeant, put me in charge of the honor guard for the next 20 months before I get out of the Army. We bury 46 returning veterans, okay? Flag draped casket, soldiers fold it. I walk up, give my salute, grab the flag, turn around, present it to young mothers, 38, 40 years old. That's young, that's still young. Like Doug said, you're looking at 70-year-olds here, okay? On a few occasions, unfortunately, I had to present that flag to a 19-year-old widow. Should not be any 19-year-old widows out there, but there were, okay? And the Army did not tell me what to say. I'm 20 years old at that point. I gotta somehow relate to this 19-year-old widow, this 38-year-old mother who we just probably buried her firstborn. So you grow up fast in the military, okay? You grow up fast in the military. San Francisco, where I'm stationed at the Presidio, you could not go into town because with your haircut, they knew you were military. I had two buddies, Richard Satterfield from Jersey, New Jersey, Jersey he called it. He and his buddy would buy wigs like this young guy's got here, okay? They put that on, put on a tie-dye t-shirt and a bandana. They could go into Frisco on the weekend, have a good time. I could not, which was okay with me anyways. But there was a lot of protesting going on against the war, and we could talk about that for a long time, but I only got 5 minutes, I'll turn it over.
Okay.
Who's up?
I can have that.
Yeah.